Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Jay Speak. This week we answer questions. Well, a question because I thought it was a good one, and let's unpack it a little bit. This question was emailed to me, which feel free to do so at ContactTheJay@gmail.com. The question was, where do I put my delays? Do I use the effects loop or do I run them up front? It depends, actually. I think when I was gigging a lot, I try to use the effects loop. So I had like my phasers and my choruses and stuff up front, running my tuner into the amp, and then you had another couple cables running your effects loop. For the most part, I did that for a long time, and then I started playing like a Mesa Rectoverb. And honestly, I love the amp so much, the way it sounded, I just plugged my guitar straight in and kind of let it be. I didn't play with any effects for a little bit, which promoting the record the band had done at the time was semi-problematic, but it just really depended on the set for the night, whether I'd bring anything. Maybe I brought a pedal or two and used it up front, and that was it. I didn't really use a lot of delay and reverb during that time. I think one of the amps, ironically, that I really liked the tones up front was the Orange 8030. At the time I picked up the Orange was when I got into Orange to begin with, and this is years ago. I wasn't using the effects loop. I just started running everything directly into the amp. And I found that like my Big Sky sounded just absolutely crazy up front with the 8030, and it created all these crazy tones that if I put it into the effects loop were not there. So to recreate them, I had to use the pedal up front, otherwise I wouldn't get those same tones, right? So it just makes sense. You have to follow the signal chain the whole way through the way you want it. There are certain pedals that I really like running up front, and some other amps just don't react that way. They're built very well, and for whatever reason, delays and reverbs sound great up front, and you really don't need an effects loop. But then there's other effects loops that are just absolutely pristine, and then the effects sound absolutely pristine, and there's no weird like little artifacts and weird things going on in the tone when you use it up front. But in the effects loop, it cleans it all up, and you get exactly what you would expect. So I think it really just depends on the situation. If I'm recording in here, I throw a bunch of pedals into the effects loop. I might throw a delay or reverb in front as well, just to kind of hear how it sounds, because again, sometimes it just sounds good. It adds a little something different to the sound, and maybe not totally expected, so it kind of gives you something different and new to explore, which is wonderful. Before the band I was playing with lost their drummer, I was using all the effects up front, a few different Friedman amps, and those take pedals really well. Comparing an Orange to a Friedman and how delays and reverbs react up front versus an effects loop is very, very different. Orange, I don't typically run too many things up front because they don't take pedals as well for reverb and delay. I will typically run them in the effects loop because then you get what you expect, a more pristine sounding effect. I kind of run it both ways. Again, it's for a specific sound. If I'm going for a little more crazier tones and I don't want to mess with the knobs, I might run a pedal up front just to see what I get. I would encourage you to experiment with it depending on your amp. And if you have multiple amps, definitely try both ways through both of them, because again, you might find something brand new and you might find exactly what you expect, and you don't want extra this, that, or the other thing in your delay sound, and you want the exact repeat, and that's totally cool. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.